Hello there, John Meshad here. I don't normally do video blogs, but I felt this one was important. I lost another friend a few days ago. I considered him a friend. He was still in Massena here. He had gone away for a couple years and had come back to Massena in the last few years. His name is Mike Pellegrino. Mike, I knew for over 20 years. Probably late 1980s I first met Mike. I would have graduated with Mike in high school back in 1991, but I graduated in 92. I was pulled back in kindergarten. Mike was the same age as me, about 6 months older than me, and he died of liver and kidney failure on Monday. Tomorrow morning is his funeral, and I'm probably not going to go. I'd rather remember him talking through this video blog instead. Hopefully his family won't mind. I think about life, get older, I'm getting older, and when we get older we lose more people we know. In the last 3 months there have been 2 people from my past that have passed away my age, Chris Cooper and Mike Pellegrino, this week. Really liked Mike. He was a lot of fun. Always had a good sense of humor. He knew how to have a good time. He was always that type of person. I feel he never could hurt anyone. He always did his best at everything. Back in 1989, he was in the High School Musical with me. He was one of the messengers or scribes in Camelot. And here's the photo. I'm going to put it up quickly. You look closely. Right next to me is Mike. I'm the blonde-haired kid when I was 15 years old or 14. Mike's the dark hair. And the creepy thing, right next to Mike is Chris Cooper, who just passed away. There's 3 of us. We had the same part, basically, Messengers in Camelot, back in 1989 during the High School Musical. So it kind of creeps me out when I think about it. We all had the same role in the musical, basically, and two of the 3 are now passed on in the last 3 months. This is another one here. Me, and there's Chris Cooper, and right next to Chris is Mike, smiling. And I got another one of the cast here. Chris Cooper has the hat on, go over. There's Mike next to Rebecca with the hat on. Mike was in high school soccer. He was a pretty good soccer player. That wasn't in his obituary. He was awful good, in my opinion, in soccer. That was his choice of sport in high school. Well, I was the water boy and manager for the sports teams, like the girls softball team and football team and basketball team. I could drone on, talk about Mike for a long time. This is all with no script, just me thinking on the top of my head about Mike. There's one, I looked around for photos. Those are the only ones I could find at this time. I have photos of Mike, but I don't know where they are. Got another one from the yearbook here. Mike in the lobby of the high school having a little fun pulling himself up. Remember that? Mike used to do that And other kids used to do it, pull themselves up, pretend they're flying in the lobby of the high school. I tried it, but I wasn't as good. And they snapped this photo and it ended up in the yearbook of Mike. That was back in 1990. Last time I saw Mike was about 2 weeks ago. I was walking on Main Street, ran into him, asked him how he was doing, and told me some personal stuff, and I told him he'd be okay. So now he's gone. And back in May, Mike lived down the street from where I live right now. Spent about 3-4 hours with Mike. He had a fire going in the back. We talked about different things. Mike used to give me rides home when I was in high school. I lived on Route 420, and I would walk all the time. I had no way to, I didn't have a car. And he told me one thing I never knew. He said he was quite angry at my parents for not ever giving me rides all the time home. And I tried to I explained to Mike, well, my father couldn't drive because of his health, and my mother always worked, and I think he understood that. But he said he was so angry to see me walk that far, and I thank him for all the rides he gave me back then, back in 1990, 89, 1991, from the high school or wherever. When I used to leave the newspaper office, he would see me, give me a lift, along with a lot of other people from the past who are now, I have no idea where they are, but we had a good conversation, and Mike said I knew an awful lot. And we talked about how everyone has left Massena that we knew. Not many people left, and he said that I'm one of the very few left here, and that he really knew. And yeah, I said the same thing. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm in Massena because I really don't know the people I used to hang around with. They're no longer around, or they have the different lives. It was a good conversation. Mike also, had a heart. When I go out walking, I pick up bottles and cans, and I also admit that I grab cans and bottles out of the garbage all the time because it adds up. It's money. When I'm short in money, I deposit the bottles and cans. And Mike saw me with a bag earlier this year walking. He felt bad or something, and he invited me over to dinner to where he was living with his girlfriend, and went over, and it was quite fun. So I got to know Mike a little better this year, more because he had left Massena for so long. And when he came back to Massena, I remember he had a huge long black beard. I'm like, is that you, Mike? He had grown a huge hippie beard. It was Mike. I was surprised it was him, but it was Mike. So once again, I've lost someone I liked, and makes me think of my own fate. Hopefully I'll live to be 100. That's what I'm hoping. So Mike, wherever you are, I hope you're happy, and I wish you a fond farewell here, and keep smiling wherever you are. So long, Mike. I'll miss you.